All right, we're on. So Mindy, you're first. You want to clean the keyboard? Do you want to clean the keyboard?
English Suite number 2 by Bach and A minor.
Fantastic, Mindy, that was terrific. You what? You sound like you practiced very well in general. Okay, so I was sitting there and I'm looking at your fingers from underneath and listening also to what I hear. And I hear, first of all, it's incredible memory and really great 16th work in general. Has anybody tried to play this? I think this is the best performance we've had with this piece here. Yeah, it's such a great piece. But the tricky thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed that there are a lot of passages where the hands have to play together, the 16th notes, and it's really hard to get those together and to remember them. And you did all of that. It was really good. And it was a really good and clear tone the whole time. So you have 100% tone, especially in these fingers. So I'm going to encourage you to listen to the outer notes. So sometimes there are a lot of really great tenor lines that you're bringing out really well. But some of the time, yum bum bum, that note at the top, yum bum bum, sounds a little bit weak. What? The top notes. Okay, so I'll make it look, these are the top notes, these are the bass notes. So start where the theme comes back for the last time in A minor, or G minor. Yeah, these top notes in each group, I'm not hearing them as well as I can hear the notes that are played by the 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and start right Okay, good. Cool. So are you intending to play those last 2 notes legato? Is that what you want? Da, 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 da. So yeah, leave them separate. That's right. Yeah, but you don't. You want the last note to be loud enough. You can work on that. Okay, so now I'm looking at your hands from this angle, and I feel like the reason that sometimes you're not getting the sound out of the outside fingers is that your arm is sort of glued in this position at this angle. So can you hold your arms up like this? Do this. Yeah. Okay. Your arms are moving well, but you want to make sure that you can move your arms and your wrists together so that your arm can follow the fingers. Let's just try one group of notes. This third beat. What's your fingering here, the right hand? Okay, play this group of notes with the right hand. arm out here to give more energy. And so there's more freedom for the fifth finger. Yeah, okay, do that again. Make sure that we hear the top note. Good, good, good. Okay, can you start there again? Just a second. I want you to hear how fabulous the alto notes sound. Good. Do you hear that? Yeah, it's easy to bring the alto notes out because it's the thumb playing those notes. But you want us to hear vibrancy and tone, no matter if the notes are in the middle or the outside. Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk to you about. I was looking forward to the opening theme coming back at the tonic for the last time. And I was wondering how it was going to happen. And I had high hopes because I see a squiggly line there on that measure. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right here. Why is there a squiggly line there? You what? You didn't write that? Yeah, I bet I know who did. Yeah. Do you know what this squiggly line is for? No, it's to take time. It's to take time. Now, you've heard us say this a lot of times, and it's an imposition on the player. You guys aren't limited to take time, so why do you have to do it? Because it's a generous gift to the listener. It helps us experience that last moment of drama and resolution. So let's hear what this can sound like. Start at the beginning of a sequence somewhere here, wherever you want. Okay, just do those last few measures. Wait for that. Do it again. So maybe that's a little too much time, but I'm showing you the drama that we're craving. All right? You can do it, Aries. Okay, that's it. All right. Awesome. Right. Wow. I hope that you don't end up with the keyboard is bloody because the last person who played this.
Oh no.
Do you remember that?
Someone heard those.
Well, just do the Aberdeen. It was oh yeah. But fortunately, then we weren't. Yeah, there it is. So,
Oh
okay,
yeah, my name is
Austin,
Austin. I'll be playing the cat and the mouse.
put your tissues in the garbage, otherwise they'll end up on top of you. And put the music stand down. Bring the music, the music rack towards you. That's right. And then push it back. Great. Okay. Now come over here and announce your piece, and then we'll applaud for you.
Oh yeah, I'll be playing the cat and the mouse by Aaron Copland.
Good for you, Austin. Very well done and very dramatic. Are there any people in here who aren't familiar with this piece? You should borrow the score or look it up. You can find it on YouTube because each of these sections has dramatic or programmatic commentary. So is this amusing to you? Yes. So, because, obviously the cat gets the mouse, and at the end, the mouse dies, and it's a funeral march. It says, do you remember what it says? Yeah. Softly and in a funereal manner. Yeah, okay. So, there are a lot of tricky things, technically, and as far as the accuracy goes, how accurate is the cat? Well, your cat is really impressively accurate most of the time. There are a few figures that we kind of all expect not to hear all the right notes because it doesn't happen. I mean, the cat isn't that accurate. But you can make this opening flourish more accurate. So just try this measure 4. Good. Okay. So what you're doing is you're playing, getting the hand in the position, and then you're playing the notes. But you don't have to keep your hand stretched out the whole time. You can move your.
So in your case,
There are 2 really big intervals in a row. So if you play each of them in a group, yeah, that's what I mean. Yes. That's right. Okay. your wrist is pretty high. So if I were playing it, my wrist, I guess it would be kind of in the neutral position until the middle. It might come up a little bit and then down. But in general, you have to get the right arm and wrist position to make it worthwhile and fit in with your guitar nails.
Yeah.
And you're solving that pretty well. But you never want the wrist quite that high.
Okay.
So, and then practice it mezzo, every note mezzo forte. And then practice it da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Because it's hard for the right hand to get to the next note or the first note of the next group. Have you practiced it in groupings?
Like that section.
Yeah.
Um,
So if it were me, I'd practice yum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Because the first note is pretty easy to get. And I would also study the intervals and know the topography. So there's how many black notes in each beat.
there's one.
Right, yeah. And do you know how to figure out what those intervals are? Between each of the notes in each beat. Are they all thirds? Yeah, okay. Here's the trick question. One of them is a diminished fourth. So see if you can find where that is. Yeah, right. Okay, so there are other things to do here. If I were you, unless I was going to use a soft pedal, I would put my left foot in a more balanced position. So you can, that's over here. So right now, as you're going up and down the piano, you're left only with your what are these called? Your abs. Yes. Yeah. Do you notice that sometimes you feel a little out of balance? But if you put your left foot right here, yeah, and use your left quad and then your right quad to get you back and forth. And then you're more centered, bum, 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 bum. So just try that in the first couple lines. And I mean, second, third lines. You start the second line. Good. Okay, that's really good. And I love the looseness of your hands, but I wouldn't land quite so loose because there's a little bit of flopping going on. So make sure that after you're loose before you land, you have some muscle resistance in your fingers so that there's not too much flopping. Because then it makes it harder to get around when there's too much flopping. Okay, yeah. Now, as far as all the programmatic elements, I really thought you nailed it. It was great. I would put more space in there. So, for example, whenever there are different fermatas, right? Short or not short, but your short fermatas are too short. So turn the page, for example, at the end of the second line there. Can you start at the top there? Because, again, part of this is for the audience. If you're playing super soft and then all of a sudden, boom, we need just a moment to not we shouldn't be prepared for that. That's why it shouldn't be too long. But it'll sound like a mistake if you don't give a moment. Try it. Good, yeah, yeah. And wind up like you're gonna pounce. Yeah. So I'm just seeing now that your left hand is crossing over and it's moving really perfectly and comfortably and then landing with resistance in the fingertips. So you're getting the events to happen reliably, right? Good, really wonderful job. You're welcome. Okay, Natalie.
I'm Natalie, and I'm going to be playing Bagatelle No. 1 by Beethoven.
Right, bravo, Natalie. That's very good. Yeah. What do you think of this piece? You like it? It's really fun? You know, I really love teaching this piece because it has so many things. You know, once you've mastered what's in this piece, you've gone over a major hurdle in advancement. And one of those things is, you know, first of all, for my taste, it's a little bit fast. Allegretto, it's a very vague term, but what does allegretto mean to you?
Just a little bit faster than
Well, it's still, it's an allegro, but a relaxed allegro. So
Right.
allegro is a fast tempo. It's a general, very general tempo, usually between 120 and 148. That's an allegro. And it has to have a feeling, it doesn't have the relaxed feeling that allegretto usually has. So, but you don't want it to be too slow. But it has to have excitement, but relaxing sense. You know, it's one of the most vague terms. And I think a lot of people play allegretto too fast because they just think of it as allegro. But it has to have a gentleness to it, especially when you get into the second page when it gets more active. It still has to have kind of a cover on it. So let's just try it at the beginning. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time. I want to spend time on the trio section, but let's just take it just a little more thoughtfully. That way, you know, the harmonic rhythm is pretty fast. So there's a different chord on each beat. We always have to take that into account. How fast are the chords changing? They're changing really fast. We've got to slow down the tempo so that we can, you know, the listener can absorb what you're doing. Okay? So think about that. So try just the first few measures and think of the harmonic rhythm. How you can project that rhythm, that change of harmony without rushing through it. Good. All right, that's great. That's a perfect tempo. Now let's make the staccatos not quite so short, because now if the staccatos are too short, we don't have as much control of the sound, and also it's like it doesn't really have time to register. So a little longer staccato, but still staccato. Let's try it. Bravo, keep going. Bravo. Yes, to me that's perfect. All right, so let's start. Now the trio section has a lot of note values that overlap others, and that's why I love teaching this piece, because we can gloss over those or we can really make them obvious. Try playing this without any pedal. Let's see if you can just try it without pedal. All right, so you can see that, especially right here. So, see that? So we really want to hear the 4-part harmony. So we want to hear those as actual lines of rhythm. We want to hear those lines. So that there's that. So try it a little bit slower and without the pedal, and you'll really understand that a lot better. All right, now I can hear the 4-part harmony a lot better. So you can use touches of pedal, but the pedal kind of blurred those together, and I didn't hear the clarity of the voice lead. That's what I think is the most important thing here. Here you did it beautifully. You have that. That's hard to do. But, all right, and then I think at the very end you have a coda, and I think it's a little aggressive. I think this should be, you know, calming down. You know, you have all this activity that's the variation of what's going on here, and then there's a coda, and it's more. I think it's more thoughtful, and then it's ending with a Picardy third at the end with a major triad, and you expect it to be minor. So he's I think he's just kind of spreading out the whole. There's a diminuendo there, and I think you can take more retard toward the end. So, hey, bravo, good for you though.
Brain by Debbie C.
Well, Annette, you play the crap out of that. Good for you. That's great. Oh my gosh. Better than last week.
It was having an architect last week.
Yeah, we did a theater jury last week. So anyway, you've done a remarkable job of redistributing things and making it work. Bravo! It's just incredible what you've done with it. You know, the only thing I would say is I think you need to exaggerate the dynamics even more. I mean, you've got a wonderful palette of wonderful sounds and textures and all that, but I think you can really take it more literally and really exaggerate. Yeah.
Yeah.
For instance,
Yeah.
these, I would hold the pedal all the way down and really crescendo because, W.C. Fairley wrote any pedal mark. He always did it with note value.
And just tell.
Yeah, and so there's no way anyone could hold on to that A, like clear up here. So that needs, and the trick is, if you're making a crescendo, you can hold the pedal longer. It's just a little trick, because if it's a louder one, it kind of cancels out the previous note. So you can get away with longer pedals if you make a crescendo.
Okay.
So be careful of that.
Okay.
It's kind of an
I'll
oral
listen
illusion.
to-
Yeah. And and I love what you're doing with a lot of these, but we want to do it with all of them. And here, and look at that, there's a forte. And I would really like that.
Okay.
Because it was, you built up to this as a crescendo, but there, you've got to really
Okay.
arrive there. That's right. And then you're playing very lightly, and then smash
And
this.
then this one.
Because it's gotta be subito.
Yeah, it just needs to be
It's just gotta, anytime you've got a subito, you've gotta make it really a big, sudden something. You can't sneak into it. Okay. So let's play that little F sharp major. Okay, try this. Okay, that's all right. Yes. Good. And then all of these, do those two, those are fine. And then the same thing, just there's a piano and a sudden crescendo to forte. If you've got a piano at the beginning of one measure and a forte at the beginning of the next measure with a crescendo, that's a fast crescendo. And so we want to exaggerate that too. So don't be afraid to really, because all of this is really great. I love what you did here. Do more on the first one. You've got to establish it. The second one was fantastic, but establish it there. And then just really keep going for it. And because this set felt a little weak to me when I got there.
Okay.
So just really scream that out. All right. And this is beautiful. All of this is beautiful. It's just gorgeous what you did here. And Rin forzando, I would just really whack that G sharp when you come up there. All right. Are you doing that with the left hand or the right? That G sharp is what establishes it. Then it comes down. And I would hold the pedal clear through there, even though it sounds a little blurry there. But to me, this is, éclatant means really brilliant, and éclair means lightning. It means it's a real, to me, it's just a thunder, lightning and thunder just, and that's, that's the hardest part of the whole
It
piece.
is, right? And I think the pedal would be helpful, actually.
Yeah, and I don't think, and then change it here. Yeah, these are great. And, and right here, this is a different pattern. And I wonder if we can make that sound. It's really an odd place. I never understood if I actually did it. So, really accent the thumb there. Just accent the thumb. Just the thumb. That's it. It's all on the tongue. Yeah, but we want to, and then there's a hairpin there too. Yum. So I think that's part of it. And then I would just, give it all you got. And
Should I fold this? I don't know how
No.
to fold that.
do a flourish.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, but you'll notice the little star
yeah,
there. So
Hang
let
on.
it just ring out.
okay,
And just
yeah, I can do that for you.
come off. And come off. But, bravo.
Great.
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. 2000s, remember, most of you committed to come in person to our conference tonight. That was great. I'll send the link for those who cannot come. The next comment, our juries, we're going to do the same way we did last semester. So we'll have you come on the slide. That will be on Saturday afternoon, April 24th. That's the last time we legally have you do your juries. We're giving you an extra few days to nail those scales and arithmetic. And then you'll be recording your other keys to submit by Thursday of last time. Hey, thank you. Nice job, Natalie. Great job with that. Awesome. Here's the shoe on channel 2. Oh, yes. Oh, hey, Mike, yes. Yeah, but you won't be able to get it from 5 nights. Yeah, so, yes, yeah.
And he really has a
Computer, I heard it's still.
Oh. Okay, what else is on the program?
That's just, this was,
Oh, those 15, okay,
yeah.
all right, super.
That might not seem like enough to you, but it seems like enough to me. And
Well,
then,
at least you don't have to play the Kodai.
I know,
That's a neat piece.
I know, it's great.
All right, okay, I'll see you tonight.
Great, thanks, Mark. Oh. I'm just gonna let my live stream go indefinitely. Goodbye.
We can just put this stuff up forever then?
Yep.